Why do we work? What is the point of working every day? Going to the same job that we have had for a long time and just going and checking in and doing the work and doing the repetitive tasks and going home every day. I kind of want to talk about that in this video. A lot of us are in jobs that we don't necessarily enjoy, or maybe we used to enjoy and we don't enjoy that anymore. We've kind of built ourselves into this little trap that we're stuck in now. So in this video, I want to go over some of those things and, how we kind of got here and what we can do to get out. And what I believe, is kind of a new way of looking at things, as opposed to the way that we were traditionally taught, especially if you're my age, where, I'm over 40. So our thinking has changed a lot in the last 20 years, 10 years, I guess, with social media and stuff, the way things have changed 10, 20 years. And us being a little bit older, not being brought up into social media as from children, um, we don't recognize the power that it has, or the kind of trend that it's created for most younger people even. But I want to take a look at some of those aspects of it, um, in this video. And I made a video a little while back, and it got some popularity, and it was about, you know, why why retire at 65, or is retiring at 65? I don't even remember how it was worded, but it was something about kind of wasting your life in a job and retiring at 65, and then that's your good years. That's what we're taught, is that's the time of your life, is when you're so old that you can't even enjoy it. So it's a little depressing, but I want to talk about that too, because when I made that video, I got some comments that people kind of thought I was anti-work, and I'm not anti-work. I want to make that point that, I think work is very important. I think, work ethic is important, and it gives you a lot of character, and there's a lot of good values that come out of it. I think working for the wrong reasons is where we fail, where we kind of get trapped in. So the thing about that is, a lot of us, we work to get material things, or to keep up with the Joneses. The neighbor got a new boat, so we got to go get a new boat, and things like that. The kids' clothing is, you know, little Johnny across the street has the newest fashion, so our kids want to get the newest fashion and things like that. It's like material things mostly. But the other part of it is being in a job that you don't really enjoy that much anymore, you don't have a passion for anymore. And having a job or working for somebody else is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if that's what you want to do, if that's what your desire is, then who am I to say anything about that? But a lot of people, I think, are under the impression that that's the only way to make a living, is to go work for somebody else. And I don't think people see the possibilities, or the opportunities that we have right now with YouTube, especially. Like, I'm a huge advocate for YouTube now, and it even took me a long time to figure this out. I like to think that now, at my age, I'm 46, I like to think that I've started to think a little bit differently than when I was younger. I used to kind of just go with what I was told about everything, and now I question a lot of things, and I have been this way for uh, maybe 12 to 15 years, um, probably longer than that, almost 20 years maybe, where I just started to question things. I just started to wonder, what's the truth about stuff, or are there ulterior motives to what other people are telling me? Um, do they have something to benefit from what they're trying to tell me? So looking at things in a different light, and just questioning not I don't want to say authority, because I don't question a cop or something, like try to, I mean, unless he has the wrong intentions. But I think you know what I'm saying. I don't want to sound like I am, questioning just to question, like just to I don't think everybody has ill motivations, but I think there are some that do. And, you have to watch out for things, scams or people that try to manipulate you, or, it's all through life. People are just people, and it's kind of built into the way we are. Everybody has their own agenda, everybody's looking out for their own selves. So sometimes that can be taken to a level of abuse and not done for the right reasons. So in that sense, I've kind of questioned things. But to get back to the job thing, um, you know, if you were passionate about something when you first got into it and you no longer are, there's other options for you. You can look for another job that might be better, or you can try to advance your career or switch your career. But some of those things might be difficult to do, especially if um, you've become maybe an expert, or you've gotten into a job where, that's kind of all you know, and there's really no way out, and there's no way of advancement. Maybe you're at a job that there's just nowhere else to go. You're just kind of stuck. There's a lot of people that just don't like their job because they just don't like their job either. That they didn't even, you know, study to go to school for their job or whatever. They just kind of got whatever they could to pay their bills, because that's kind of, it's kind of sad that we live in this country that is probably the richest country in the world, but most people still live check to check and have trouble paying their bills every month, no matter kind of what their income level is. Even at the higher end of people's income levels, people push it to the limit because of the material things that they can get with it. And, they get into debt and uh, buying cars and buying houses, and just getting into a situation where they've kind of trapped themselves into their job. We live in this place where you can put anything on a credit card. So most people do, I think. A lot of people do. And it gets them trapped to now they've got to go to work so they can pay off that card, and it's just a cycle that starts. But uh, the cool thing that I've seen from um, like on YouTube, basically, it's you can build your own way out. You can build a business around YouTube. You can start to build a name for yourself. You can even if you use it for a business, like if you had a local business, you could start to become popular in that local business of being kind of an expert in your business. And then, that kind of translates to you as your personal brand, and you can gain more authority. You can gain more inbound leads on YouTube and stuff like that. So there's a lot of opportunities, I think, for business on YouTube. And a lot of people just look past it as just the ad revenue, but I think there's a lot more to it that you can build once you start to build your personal brand, and you start to develop your skills, and people start to trust you and like you, and as long as you don't have ill intentions, I think it's a perfectly legitimate way to make some extra money, or make it into a big business. There's a lot of people making a lot of money on YouTube. And the AdSense, the Google Ads, getting monetization from YouTube is really one of the smallest ways to make money on YouTube. There's a ton of other ways. Maybe I can go into some more of that on another video if you guys want to. Just tell me in the comments on some ways that you can monetize on YouTube. But especially at my age, people don't talk about business, on YouTube, or business through social media. It's not. It's still kind of like unexplored territory for a lot of people, and people don't understand it, so they're scared of it, and they think, "No, that couldn't work," and especially it couldn't work for me because I don't have a personality. I can't do it. I don't know how to record a video. I wouldn't know what to say. And there's so many barriers. And it does take a while. It's not something that happens very quickly. So it discourages a lot of people from taking action on it. Especially, if you've done a video and then you put it out on YouTube and you see kind of nobody watching it really. And so you think, well, I'm just not cut out for this, and you give up. But you have to understand that it's not a short-term game. When I started back maybe 4 months ago now, 3 or 4 months ago, and I knew this was going to be a long time to build, and I'm still in that phase, the beginner phase. I'm still in that part of YouTube where you're trying to find yourself, you're trying to find your voice, and you're trying to find your people. They're trying to find you. I don't know if they're trying to find you, but you got to find the algorithm, figure out the algorithm. You got to figure out how to record the videos. You got to figure out how to tell a story that people care about hearing. And it's all about communicating with other people. It's really, it's a social network. So you got to be social. You got to be somebody that people want to hear from. And I'm still in that beginning phase where I'm trying to find that stuff out. But I knew that going into it. I knew that I was going to have to give this at least a year's worth of time in order for me to start to figure things out and gain a little bit of traction and see if it can work for me. And the cool thing is I am learning the whole time. Every time I do a video, I'm learning. I look at the analytics, or I look at, how I shot this or that. I'm trying on this path that I'm on recently. I'm trying more to be authentic and talk to the camera better and let my personality come out. And that's just a part of the growth of it. And it just takes practice. You didn't get on a bicycle the first time and just start riding away. You fell a lot, and I'm falling a lot. And that's part of the process. That's just how it is. So it's going to be something that you're going to have to stick with, and you're going to have to dedicate yourself to it. So that also adds a level of difficulty and a barrier, and it shows or builds your character in a way, because if you can stick with it, I think that shows a lot when you when you dedicate some time to something, or you do something on repeat, you start to form a habit, but that habit is still difficult to keep up. If you go to the gym and you work out, you're not going to get muscles in the first week. It's going to take months and months to start to see good results. Sometimes years to see the results, that depending on what you want to do or where you're starting from, what you're starting with. So just building things up, it's if it was easy, everyone would do it. It's not something that you can just start, and there are some exceptions to the rule. There's people that, maybe they have something unique to share, or they have some unique personality or some unique skill that they can kind of hit it off right from the start. Maybe they're in video production already, or maybe they understand how to talk to people better, or whatever. So I just want to tell you that there are other options if you're stuck in a job, and you don't want to do that for the rest of your life. You're not completely stuck where you have to go back to school, or you have to do a career change, or you don't have to even wait it out for the rest of your career, 20 years or whatever you've got left. It's a long time. If you think about how much time it would take in your spare time to maybe start a YouTube channel, doing something that you enjoy doing in your spare time, talking about what you enjoy talking about, or whatever you want to do in your spare time, it might take you a year or two to get that all figured out and get you going on the path that you want to go and be able to monetize what you want to do. But think about that in comparison to spending another 20 years working in that career doing the same thing all the time, every day doing the same thing day in and day out. And again, if that's where your fulfillment is, if that's what you enjoy doing, then do that. I'm not saying don't. Some people take what I say and they kind of say tell me I'm saying that there's one way or there's the only way, and I'm not. I'm just saying there are other ways. This is a new way, and that's why I'm talking about it, because I think it's a new way that we don't think about, that we can create a different life for ourselves, and it's the opportunity is huge. I think the opportunity is overlooked. It's right in front of our faces. We look at these social media apps all the time, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. We use these all the time, but we don't utilize them. We don't see the potential that they have to change our lives. There's people making a lot of money and changing their whole lives and making it into something that they really love. I mean, even if you have a hobby that you really love, if you share that with other people will see value in that. If you're good at cooking, or you enjoy barbecuing, or you are a model railroader or whatever, if you share that with others, there's other people that are going to find interest in that and they'll find value in that. And there's ways to monetize that. And so I think it's a way of thinking outside the box, and it's a way of saying, I don't want to be pigeonholed into trading my time for money and that's it, and for this job that I don't like doing. I think there's other ways to look at it. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you liked it, leave me a comment. Tell me what you liked. If you didn't, don't leave me a comment. Just go somewhere else. But I appreciate you watching.